Hey, we'll call this lesson 4.9, dividing a polynomial by a monomial. So just like for multiplying, we used product rule. Now for dividing, we will use quotient rule. So hopefully you recall, if we had something like this, that we subtract the exponents. When we're looking at this now, though, instead of it just being one part, a monomial, divided by a monomial, now you'll see that the numerator has multiple terms. So you can think of it as that denominator is under both, and then you're doing two division problems. So this becomes 8 divided by 4 is 2, subtract the exponents. Negative 36 divided by 4 is 9, negative 9, and the ends cancel out. So this 2n minus 9 is my answer. So you don't necessarily have to rewrite it twice, but you must keep in mind that you are dividing both parts by that, not just one part. So here in example 2, the negative 14 divided by 7 is negative 2. X, 12 subtract 2 is 10. Y, the power 5 subtract 2 is 3. And then I go on to the other term. 7 divided by 7 is 1. And the x's and y's would cancel out. So notice when this divisor is the same as one of the terms, it does not just go away. There is a 1 in that position. If your numerator had 2 terms, your answer needs to have 2 terms, or 3 terms, or however many terms. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. Still got the x. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And we need that plus sign in between. If it's only a variable, then you're just taking 1 off each exponent. So this would be 8a to the second now minus 2a plus 5. So if you write it under each one, then you can do things like cancel, but be careful about marking things out as canceled if you're not rewriting it, because then you might forget to use it for the others. So 40 divided by 8 is 5. Subtract those exponents. 8x divided by 8x, anything divided by itself is 1. And then the one above that, every term divided by 5. So it's like we're distributing, but it's division, which we could write it as 1/5 of everything and write it like distributing. Would look like that. If you look at the bottom of the page, we'll take a look at a couple here with multiple variables. So I'll look at 9 and 10. So for number 9, negative 25 divided by negative 5 is 5. Subtract the exponents on the x, subtract the exponents on the y. Next term, also dividing by that negative 5x squared y. 30 divided by negative 5, negative 6. The x's are canceled out because that would be 0 power. And then 5 take away 1, y to the 4th. Alright, so pause me, try number 10, and then come back to see if you're correct. Alright, let's switch over to the other page. And you're going to see some things on this page. I want to bring your attention to 13 and 14. sometimes part of your answer will have a fraction in it still. Because remember, we don't want any negative exponents in our answers. So negative 24 divided by 3 is 8, negative 8. Not a negative exponent, it's okay. It's just a negative number. 7 take away 5 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 take away 5 though, bigger exponent is in the bottom. So this x is going to be in the bottom to the second power. Alright, so that's where, in a situation like that, thinking of this part, and this last part, each as their own little fraction, and this would be 5 and x to the 4th on the bottom. So we don't just leave it the way it was. Alright, so if you have a higher exponent in the bottom than any term that you have, then those terms that have a lower exponent on top are going to have a fraction in that part of the answer. Doesn't mean everything's a fraction. So here 3x, but when I get to the middle, 5, and x on the bottom. So 3x, but then minus 5 over x, because 4 is bigger, and then plus 1 over x to the second. By the way, those are still in standard form as far as being in descending order, because for instance the 3x, that's first power, and then that's the negative first power, and then the negative second power. So that is declining powers. We'll look at one of these challenge. So here with the challenge, I would do this first. So do this division like what we've just been doing. So 5, subtract the exponents, makes 5x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. The x's are gone. But that is a grouping symbol, so it's basically like it's in parentheses, and that entire thing now needs to be multiplied by 2x minus 1. So that goes back to our multiplying with distributing. So 5x times 2x, 10x squared, 5x times negative 1, negative 5x, 2 times 2x, 4x, and 2 times negative 1. And then the two terms in the middle can be combined. Don't make them x squared. And then that's our final answer. And then that should be helpful then with the assignment that's on page 27. And that finishes up the polynomial unit. Thanks.